Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be filming a what Christmas movies I'm going to be watching this holiday season. So number one, I have Elf, and then I just wrote like a little summary of like what the movie is about, just in case you haven't seen it and if you want to watch it. So Elf is a Christmas comedy about Buddy, a human who was accidentally brought to the North Pole as a baby and raised by Santa's elves. When he grows up, much larger and less skilled than the other elves, Buddy learns the truth about his origin and travels to New York City to find his biological father, Walter Hubbs, a cynical children's book publisher who's on Santa's naughty list. Buddy's childlike innocence and enthusiasm clash with the real world, but he slowly brings Christmas spirit to those around him, including Walter's family, and his co-worker's love interest, Jovi. When Santa crashes in Central Park, Buddy helps save Christmas and finally find where he truly belongs. So the next movie that I'm going to be watching this Christmas season is the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. The main characters is Clark Griswold, and he tries to create the perfect family Christmas, but everything goes hilariously wrong, from chaotic relatives to a ruined bonus, until the whole family finally pulls together for a messy but heartwarming holiday. If you personally haven't watched this movie, it is a great movie to like add to your watch list. My family, we normally do watch this movie every Christmas season, so I do highly recommend. Okay, so the next Christmas movie on my list that I will be watching this season will be Almost Christmas. So Almost Christmas is really about a recently widowed father. Walter Myers invites his grown children home for Christmas, hoping for a peaceful holiday. Instead, old tensions, civil rivalries, and personal drama erupt the moment everyone arrives. As the family struggles to get along between secrets, feuds, and chaos in the kitchen, they slowly find their way back to each other. In the end, the Meyer family rediscovers love, forgiveness, and the importance of sticking together during the holidays. Okay, so the next movie on my list is going to be A Christmas Carol. So we all know the story of Ebenezer Scrooge. So Ebenezer Scrooge is a cold and miserly old man. He hates Christmas and he refuses to help others. But on Christmas Eve, he is visited by the ghost of former partner Jacob Marley, who warns him to change his ways. Scrooge is then visited by the ghost of Christmas past, present, and yet to come, who shows him his lonely childhood, the suffering he causes others now, and the grim future that awaits him if he doesn't change. And is shaken by what he sees, Scrooge wakes up on Christmas morning full of joy and generosity. He transforms into a kind, caring man who helps those around him and embraces the true spirit of Christmas. Y'all, this is truly a classic Christmas movie for me. I remember the first time I watched it, I think I was in the 6th grade. And our teacher showed it to us, and I fell in love with the movie, and I have to watch it every Christmas season. So the next movie on my list is going to be Christmas with the Cranks. Definitely a classic. So Christmas with the Cranks, when their daughter leaves for the holidays, Arthur and Nora Crank decide to skip Christmas entirely and go on a cruise instead. But to the shock and annoyance of their festive neighbors, their plan causes tensions throughout the neighborhood, especially as the Cranks refuse to participate in the usual decorations and traditions. But when their daughter suddenly announces she's coming home for Christmas after all, the Cranks scramble to pull together a holiday celebration at the last minute. With help from the community they try to avoid, they manage to create a heartfelt Christmas after all. This one is also another staple in my family. Like, I will make sure that I watch it this season. The next movie on my list is the ultimate classic Christmas movie, and it is A Charlie Brown's Christmas. And Charlie Brown feels sad and disconnected from the holiday season because everything around him seems overly commercial. When he asks to direct the school Christmas play, he hopes it will help him find the true meaning of Christmas. His friends mock him when he chooses a tiny little Christmas tree, but Linus steps in and reminds everyone that Christmas is really about reciting the biblical story of Christ's birth. Moved by the message, the children come together, decorate the little tree, and show Charlie Brown that Christmas is about love, compassion, and togetherness, not material things. And that was a beautiful summary. So I have very vague memories of actually watching A Charlie Brown's Christmas. So I will for sure watch that this season as well. So the next movie on my list is going to be Last Holiday. So Georgia Bird, a shy department store worker who lives cautiously and keeps her dreams to herself, is shocked when she's mistakenly told that she has only weeks to live. Believing her time is almost up, she cashes out her savings and takes a once-in-a-lifetime trip to a luxurious European resort. There, Georgia finally lets go of her fears, trying new things, speaking her mind, inspiring others, and even catching the attention of a wealthy businessman. Her confidence and kindness changed the lives of everyone around her. When she later learns the diagnosis was wrong, Georgia returns home and is determined to truly live. She finally finds love and happiness. Y'all, this is also a classic. I also watched this movie when I was in the 7th grade at the same school. When I say they used to have us watching some good movies, because how I watched this at school, I don't know, but we did, and I loved it. Okay, so the next movie on my list is going to be Jingle Jangle. Monica's Jangle, a brilliant toy maker, loses his creativity and hope after his trusted apprentice steals his invention. Years later, his bright and fearless granddaughter Journey comes to visit and discovers her grandfather's magical talents are still alive. Together, they work to restore his greatest creation, outsmart the apprentice who wronged him, and bring magic back to his life. With Journey's hope, Jeronicus regains his joy, his inventiveness, and the family bond he thought he'd lost. Okay, so I personally haven't watched this movie, but honestly, it sounds like a must-watch. So I am going to for sure watch this one this holiday season. So the next movie on my list is another classic. It's The Polar Express. A young boy who is starting to doubt Santa Claus boards a magical train called the Polar Express on Christmas Eve. The train carries children to the North Pole, and along the journey, he faces adventures that test his courage, friendship, and belief. At the North Pole, he meets Santa and receives a special silver bell that can only be heard by those who truly believe. By the end, the boy's faith and the magic of Christmas is restored, and he keeps the bell as a reminder that believing is what makes the magic real. I don't know about y'all, but I used to love reading the book because the illustration of the book was just so well done. I love the book. But that is also one of the movies that I will be watching with my nieces and my nephew this Christmas season. So the next movie on my list is going to be How the Grinch Stole Christmas, of course, by Dr. Seuss. So the Grinch, a grouchy creature who lives on Mount Crumpets, hates Christmas and the joyful Who's in nearby Whoville. Wanting to stop the holidays, he sneaks into town on Christmas Eve and steals all their presents, decorations, and food. But on Christmas morning, the Who's still celebrate happily, showing the Grinch that Christmas is about love and togetherness, not things. Realizing this, his heart grows. He returns everything he stole and he joins the Who's for their Christmas feast. So I have like a vague memory of that has to do with like How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So I remember like all the way back in the day when people still like frequented like public libraries. We used to rent movies at our local library, and I remember my brother used to be obsessed with How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and I just remember renting that movie out. That just popped up in my head when I started talking about How the Grinch Stole Christmas. But I loved my childhood, so anytime I can recall like a childhood memory, I will do that. Next movie on my list is going to be This Christmas. The Whitfield family comes together for their first Christmas in years, and each sibling brings along personal secrets, struggles, and relationship troubles. As they reunite, old tensions spark, romance blooms, and long buried issues rise to the surface. Despite the drama, the family ultimately reconnects, supports one another, and rediscovers the love and unity that make our holidays meaningful. This Christmas is one of my family's personal favorites, so of course we're gonna be watching it. Honestly, by the time I get done making this video, it might be playing on the TV and then when we go inside. The next Christmas movie that I will be watching this season is going to be A Christmas Story. Ralphie Parker, a young boy in the 1940s, wants only one thing for Christmas: a Red Ryder BB gun. Everyone from his mom to his teacher to the mall Santa keeps telling him he'll shoot his eye out. As Christmas approaches, Ralphie deals with school bullies, his quirky family, and his dad's obsessions with a tacky leg lamp. On Christmas morning, he finally gets his dream gift and promptly almost proves everyone right. The film captures the funny, nostalgic chaos of childhood Christmases and the small moments that make them memorable. Okay, so the next movie on my Christmas list is going to be Merry Little Christmas. So Jackie Little, a successful tech entrepreneur, wants to host a picture-perfect drama-free Christmas in her new home. But when her lively and unpredictable family arrive, everything quickly turns chaotic. Between family arguments, mishaps, and unexpected guests, Jackie's plans fall apart, but she also begins to open up emotionally, especially after meeting her handsome neighbor, Tyler. By the end, the Littles come together. Jackie learns to embrace the imperfect, and the holidays become meaningful in a way she never expected. Next movie on my movies I'm going to be watching this Christmas season is going to be Home Alone. Kevin McAllister, an 8-year-old boy, is accidentally left behind when his large family goes on a Christmas vacation. Thrilled at first to have the house to himself, Kevin soon discovers that two bumbling burglars, Harry and Marv, plan to rob his house. Kevin sets up a series of clever and hilarious traps to stop them, defending the house on his own. By the time his family returns, Kevin has proven he's braver and more resourceful than anyone expected. Personally, Home Alone is my all-time favorite movie ever since I was a little girl. So every Christmas season does not feel right if I do not watch Home Alone. So I for sure will be watching it this season. Of course, the next one on my list is going to be Home Alone 2, Lost to New York. Kevin McAllister gets separated from his family again, this time ending up in New York City. While they fly to Florida with his dad's credit card, Kevin enjoys the city and checks into the luxurious Plaza Hotel. But he soon discovers that the burglars he defeated before, Harry and Marv, are also in New York City planning a big holiday robbery. Kevin sets up another round of inventive, painful traps in an abandoned townhouse to stop them. In the end, Kevin helps save Christmas for a children's toy store, reconnects with his family, and learns the importance of kindness and forgiveness. Honestly, I think I love Home Alone 2 more than Home Alone 1. They're both pretty good, and I will definitely be watching both for them this holiday season. The next movie on my list is, of course, going to be Home Alone 3. I ain't got time to answer. So Alex Pruitt, an 8-year-old boy, is homesick with the chicken pox when he accidentally ends up with a toy car that contains a stolen microchip wanted by a group of international spies. When the criminals track the chip to Alex's neighborhood, he realizes what they're after and sets up an elaborate series of clever traps throughout his house to stop them. Despite no one believing him at first, Alex eventually outsmarts the spies, protects the chip, and the adults finally realize he's been telling the truth all along. This one is also one of my favorites, and I will also be watching this one this holiday season. So the next movie on my list is going to be The Perfect Holiday. Nancy, a recently divorced mother of 3, wishes for a nice compliment from a man for Christmas. Her daughter tells a mall Santa about the wish, not knowing he's actually Benjamin, a struggling songwriter working the holiday job. Benjamin gives Nancy the compliment, and soon the two begin a sweet romance. But he hides the fact that he's the mall Santa she's heard from. Complications grow when Nancy's ex-husband, a self-centered rapper, gets involved and Benjamin fears losing her. In the end, the truth comes out, the misunderstandings are cleared up, and Nancy and Benjamin find love just in time for the holiday. Classic. We'll be watching this one this holiday season as well. Okay, so the next movie on my list is going to be Dashing Through the Snow. Eddie Garrick, a divorced social worker who doesn't believe in Christmas, reluctantly spends Christmas Eve with his young daughter. Their night takes an unexpected turn when they meet a cheerful, mysterious man named Nick, who just might be the real Santa Claus. As Eddie helps Nick escape a corrupt politician in a series of chaotic mishaps, he begins to discover hope, joy, and the spirit of Christmas. By the end, Eddie reconnects with his daughter, mends old wounds, and learns to believe again. I personally haven't seen this movie yet. I don't think so. I would definitely be watching this one this holiday season. So the next Christmas movie on my to watch list is going to be Falling for Christmas. Sarah Belmont, a spoiled, newly engaged hotel heiress, gets into a skiing accident and wakes up with amnesia. She's taken in by Jake, a kind widowed log owner who's struggling to keep his small business afloat. As Sierra learns to live without her old glamorous life, she bonds with Jake and his daughter, discovering who she truly is. Romance grows, holiday magic follows, and when her memories return, Sierra realizes she wants a more meaningful life and love with Jake. I personally haven't watched this movie, but it sounds really good, so I will watch this one this season. Okay, so the next movie on my list is going to be Call Me Claus. Lucy Collins, a tough, no-nonsense TV shopping network producer, is tasked with hiring a new Santa Claus for the channel. She unknowingly chooses Nick, the real Santa, who is nearing the end of his 200-year term and must find a replacement before Christmas. Nick believes Lucy is the perfect new Santa because she once deeply loved Christmas before a childhood tragedy made her stop believing. As Nick tries to convince her, Lucy slowly rediscovers her holiday spirit. In the end, Lucy accepts her destiny, becoming the new Santa and saving Christmas. I have not seen Call Me Claus in years, but I will definitely find a way to watch that this season. So the next movie on my list is going to be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Rudolph is born with a glowing red nose, which makes him an outcast among the other reindeer. After being teased and feeling unwanted, he runs away and teams up with Harney, an elf who wants to be a dentist, and Yukon Cornelius, a gold prospector. They go on adventures, visit the island of misfit toys, and eventually return to the North Pole just as a huge snowstorm threatens Christmas. When Santa realizes Rudolph's bright nose can guide his sleigh through the storm, Rudolph becomes a hero. He saves Christmas and is finally accepted and celebrated for what makes him different. It's a true classic. I love Rudolph, the movie, and I will forever... It honestly will forever be a part of my Christmas. The next movie on my list is going to be The Preacher's Wife. Reverend Henry Biggs is overwhelmed by problems at his church, struggling to connect with his community and drifting away from his wife Julia. Just when he prays for help, an angel named Dudley arrives to guide him. Dudley brings joy and warmth back into the family's life, especially helping Julia feel appreciated again. But as Dudley grows fond of her, he realizes he must step back and help the couple restore their marriage, not complicate it. In the end, Henry and Julia reconnect, the church is saved, and Dudley returns to heaven after completing his mission. Love this movie. I grew up watching it. I really didn't understand what the movie was about when I was younger, but as I started watching it when I got older, it did start making more sense, and it is a really good Christmas story. Next movie on my list is going to be Black Nativity. Langston, a troubled teen from Baltimore, is sent to spend Christmas in New York City with his estranged grandparents, Reverend Cornell and Aretha Cobbs, whom he's never met. Feeling angry and out of place, Langston gets into trouble and struggles to understand why his mother kept him away from them. Through a series of emotional events, including witnessing his grandmother's church Christmas Eve performance of the Black Nativity, Langston uncovers family secrets, learns the truth about his father, and begins to understand the love his family has always had for him. By the end, Langston reunites with his mother, heals old wounds within the family, and rediscovers hope, faith, and the meaning of Christmas. I started off watching this movie last year, but I think I ended up having to go home or something. I'm going to find it again and continue watching it because it was a really good movie. The last movie on what I'm going to watch this Christmas season is Friday After Next. So, Craig and Day Day become roommates and get robbed on Christmas Eve by a thief dressed as Santa Claus. With their rent due, they take jobs as security guards at a local shopping center to avoid getting evicted. As they deal with eccentric neighbors, wild holiday parties, and their over-the-top family, they try to track down the fake Santa who stole their money and presents. In the end, Craig and Day Day catch the thief, recover what they can, and celebrate a chaotic but fun Christmas with their loved ones. I've seen that movie plenty of times. And I was having not really a debate, but like, I guess people have debated whether or not that's an actual Christmas movie, and technically it is. So I'm going to watch it.